High Point Rockers fans, I am so excited. Right now I have sitting next to me directly is one of our catchers, star catcher, Beau Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, thank you.
And I understand that you are from the state of Florida. Where did you grow up? Tell us a little bit about your hometown.
I was born in Brevard County, a little town called Rockledge. Lived there my whole entire life. It's right on the east coast of Florida. They call it the Space Coast because it's where NASA and SpaceX go off. And tons of cruises, nice beach, a little vibey area. It's nice and chill.
What did you like to do there with your family when you had a free day? Go to the beach, as you mentioned?
Yeah, I went to the beach a lot as a kid. It was either going to the beach, golfing, or going to the field with my parents.
And I know you have a decent amount of time spent in the big leagues. You made your MLB debut in 2018.
Yep.
What was it like getting that big call up?
It was probably one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me. It was just a lot of the time and just being in the minor leagues for a very long time, and it just showed a lot of perseverance and a lot of character, like just sticking it out and continued to do it, because you never know when you have that chance. And it happened, and I tried to make the most of it. It was very cool because that day, me and my mom made a little bet. If I get to the big leagues, I don't have to go to school anymore. Don't have to finish up school. So she actually came to the game, and I saw her after the game, and I told her I don't have to go to school anymore. And that's when she found out, and she was like, "Oh my God, my son's a big leaguer." It was such a cool moment.
Very exciting. So that sounds like a very memorable experience
Yes.
for you. Speaking of memorable experiences, can you give us something that might be funny that happened while you're in the big leagues, or a top memory from the big leagues aside from that one with your mom?
Yeah, it was actually the last game of the season in 2018, and Ryan Christensen, our bench coach, he's my manager in AA and AAA. He writes the lineup out, like very good calligraphy, and he's like, "I did this for you today, Beau. You're gonna get your first hit." And I was like, "All right." So I was on it. So it was like my last at bat. I got a change up, and I got a good piece of it, and I was on cloud 9, and I'm running to first, didn't feel my legs, didn't even see first base really, and I stepped right on top of the bag, and then I ate it. I would have had a triple if I didn't eat it, but I still got scars on my knees from falling from my first hit, so it's always a little, like I see it, I'm like, okay, I did that. Yeah, most memorable is probably my first hit falling.
So you have those battle wounds, and whenever you get married, if you ever get married and have kids, you'll be able to show those battle scars and tell them that story.
Yeah, they'll know.
Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
And I wanted to ask you, because this week's podcast episode, I am actually having a High Point Rockers host mom on the podcast. So I know you actually spent some time, I believe it might have been in Texas, where you had a host family.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about your experience having a host family, a host mom, and rooming with players.
It's an amazing opportunity, like being able to do with a host family, because they care about the game so much and they care about us. They take us in as their own. I've been so fortunate having amazing host families in Texas. It was Mike and Donna. They were amazing. Me and Dole had them, and they made everything feel at home. You have a good day, bad day, you get home, and like they treat you as their own. They let you do what you want, and it was such an amazing experience, and I consider them as family. And every year, holidays or happy birthdays, we're always talking to each other.
Big shout out to Mike and Donna. They actually attended our wedding, because as you mentioned, you kind of become a part of their family because you're spending so much time with them.
Beautiful people.
And I wanted to ask you, obviously you are a catcher. Did you start at that position at a very young age, or as you went from Little League, moved your way up to high school, college, the big leagues?
Yeah.
How did you transition, or were you always just playing catcher?
I played a lot of positions growing up. I messed around with catching a little bit, but I really enjoyed pitching. That was my passion. I always liked hitting, but pitching was my thing. And messed around with catching a little bit in high school, but then college, it became a for sure thing. Like, get in there and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're a catcher now. You want to keep your scholarship, you need to be a catcher." So I was like, all right, let's do this. And it ended up working out. It's changed the game so much for me. It helped me know the game a lot more from being behind the plate and see how everybody works, because everything's in front of me, and I got to become really good friends with pitchers, learning what makes them tick. But yeah, catching was the calling, and it worked out. And shout out to Cliff Godwin, my college coach that helped me get here.
What is the most difficult part about being a catcher? I mean, myself, growing up watching the Red Sox, the Yankees as a young kid, I would feel for you guys having to be down in that crouched position, the whole game, I feel like my quads would just be on fire. So how do you mentally push through that?
It's a daily grind, and it's, I mean, there's always something that's barking a little bit, but you got to find a way to push past it. It's a lot of strength and conditioning, a lot of stretching. It's just, you got to learn how to manage your body and just being smart about it. You don't have to go full go, like, but you just need to do the right amount of job, like behind the plate, to care for the pitchers, to handle the staff right. There's no pitches off. That's the hardest part. You got to get used to. No pitches off. But it's just taking care of your body and a lot of stretching.
And I'm going to ask you a couple quick fun questions, and then of course we need to talk about what it's been like being at High Point Rockers so far. The team is absolutely crushing it. You guys are getting ready to go on your first away series, which is very exciting.
Yep.
If you like pizza, which who doesn't like pizza, what is your favorite pizza topping?
It's going to be chicken. I love chicken. It could be like Italian, it could be barbecue chicken,
Buffalo
chicken, and then I do really like anchovies on top of it too. So that's a little different, but chicken and anchovies.
Good answer. And ice cream flavor. If you're going on a date or you're going out with your mom, your parents, post game, if you're gonna have a little cheat snack and you're gonna grab a scoop or two of ice cream, what are you gonna be grabbing?
Probably strawberry cheesecake. With
Delicious.
the little crumbles of the cheesecake in it, that does it perfect.
Amazing. And we have to, of course, talk about the fact that you are now with the High Point Rockers. What has that been like so far?
It's been a ton of fun. I've been able to relax. I knew a lot of the guys coming in, and some of the guys I didn't, but it's such a great atmosphere in the clubhouse, on the field. I feel like we've known each other for a long time, and it's just getting back to just having fun. And that's been the best part about being here. That's what Jamie told me before I got here, that if you're gonna take one thing out of this, you're gonna have some of the most fun you've ever had in baseball. And I've seen things I've never even seen before in the only 2-3 weeks of being here, but I actually enjoy being with this team. It's been a blast, an absolute blast.
Final question, what is the mindset walking up to the plate, being a catcher, getting to see so many different pitches thrown at you all the time when you're in the position of a catcher? Is it a little bit easier for you when you're behind the plate getting up at bat? I know you have a couple home runs already this season. Do you think you have an advantage up at bat being a catcher?
It's tough because sometimes I think I do and then you don't, and it humbles you really quick, but I try to just have a clear mind when I'm going into the box. Like, don't think, because sometimes I'll know this is what they're going to throw, so I'll get caught into that, and that's not a good spot to be. I want to be clear-minded and just don't know what's coming. Just be ready. Just be ready to hit.
Awesome. Thank you, Beau.
Thank you.